to us about his proposal to increase the tax on land in Quezon City. You can also join our discussion. You can send in your comments through Twitter using the hashtag Rundown. Councilor, thank you very much for coming to the show.
Okay, it's my pleasure to be here, Tony.
All right.
Good evening.
Now, well, RG Cruz was saying in his report, at least with some of the people that he talked to, Quezon City residents, they seem open to the idea of paying a little bit more just so that they can see some of the informal settler communities get better housing. Yes. Okay, now, first of all, how did this idea of yours come about?
We realized early on this term that the number of informal settlers has been ballooning. And we believe that this problem must be addressed now. It's a now or never situation.
Okay.
The problem has been festering for the past 30 years. Administrations have come and gone, and yet not a single administration has really been serious about jump-starting a genuine and comprehensive socialized housing program in Quezon City.
Is your idea to increase the real estate tax original one, or were there previous attempts in the Quezon City Council to pass a resolution like this?
It is an original measure. It is based on a national law.
Okay.
I can quote Section 43 of the UDA law, or the Urban Development and Housing Act, which actually empowers all LGUs to impose a 0.5% tax on lands with an assessed value of 50,000 pesos and above.
Okay.
So this is perfectly legal. It's perfectly constitutional.
And well, since that UDA law was passed, and that's the Lina law, right? I mean, it's popularly referred to, or in short, as the Lina law, named after former Senator Joey Lina.
Right.
And that particular provision has never been applied.
Well, this would be the first time that an LG would be applying the same. So we're a pioneer of sorts, and we believe that this is an idea whose time has come. Quezon City is an in-migration area. People from all over the Philippines flock to Quezon City for a better life, and only to realize that there's no housing. So we can't just sweep the problem under the rug. We must take the bull by its horns, so to speak, and really appeal to the Bayanihan spirit Filipinos are known for. For a measly amount of tax, they would have contributed to social transformation.
Your computation is based on real property that would be just beginning at 200 square meters upwards.
Well, that would be the average by which the 100,000 pesos threshold would apply. So if one would have, let's say, a 200 square meter lot, most probably he would be covered by the socialized housing tax because the assessed value would be at least 100,000 pesos.
Okay.
And he would be only paying, if he would be taxed correctly, of course, he would only be paying 540 pesos additional tax on his real property valuation assessment by the Quezon City government.
If he pays it on time.
And if he pays it on time, he may even get a 20% discount.
Right. Actually, if he pays it in advance.
And also in advance.
He gets a discount, right?
Right.
Now, as per your computation, just how many Quezon City taxpayers do you think will be covered by this new ordinance?
It would actually depend on the number of parcels of land which would be covered under our tax base and tax rate. We were able to crunch some numbers, and we were able to secure this data that out of the 140,000 parcels of land in Quezon City, only 65,000 more or less would be subject to this tax.
65,000. Okay. And from that 65,000, you estimate, how much you can generate from this ordinance?
We estimate to generate revenues in the amount of 185 million pesos.
A year?
A year.
Okay. 185 million. All right. So if you do get that amount, that's your target amount, how do you propose to use that now, in your view, to give housing to informal settlers?
It would be used to, the amount would be used to buy, to build, to construct,
buy the property,
any available property, which would be, of course, beneficial to the Quezon City government. We would not be buying property with zonal valuations that we cannot afford, because this would be used for socialized housing.
Okay.
And each housing project would amount to 150,000 pesos, more or less. and we would have an equity here. So this would not just be an imposition on the taxpayers. The Quezon City government also have an equity, a contribution to the amount that would be spent, and the would-be beneficiaries would eventually also pay back. It's not a dole out. They would have to pay monthly amortizations.
Okay.
We never believe in Quezon City in dole outs.
Okay.
Unlike the CC, the Conditional Cash Transfer Program, which is another story, of course.
Okay, which is another story, and you're beginning to sound like your father then. All right. So you have to, of course, buy land on which to build the socialized housing, right?
Right. That would be the ideal situation. It should be an in-city.
In-city. Okay, and we're looking at
housing
Quezon
project.
City, which is a huge city. It has boundaries already in Caloocan, the Caloocan side, and then in Manila, no?
Yeah, yes.
Oo. So, na-identify niyo na ba yung areas where you may be able to acquire land, buy land, and build these socialized housing communities?
Yes, actually, we did not just file this ordinance without a track record.
Okay.
Quezon City has a track record, at least for this administration, regarding the building of socialized housing units.
Okay.
If I may be allowed to read, Tony,
Yeah.
we were able to actually build socialized housing projects, Hura homes at barangays Basra and Escopa.
What did you call it? Hura Homes.
Hura, okay.
Okay, what does that stand for?
Housing Urban Renewal. I forgot.
Okay, Hura Homes. And it's
Hura
built
homes, yeah.
in Basra
Barangay Basra and Escopa.
Escopa. Okay.
We also have
Where in
community
particular is Basra, by the way?
Basra is in District 2. Siya nasa Escopa.
Saan malapit yan, banda?
District 2 yung bulk ng Quezon City. It's from after UP campus,
Okay.
extending to Novaliches.
Okay.
That covers District 2.
Mhm.
Quirino Avenue on the left will also be part of
Quirino
District 2.
Highway, you mean?
Quirino Highway, I'm
Quirino
sorry.
Highway.
Will also be part of District 2.
Mhm.
So District 2 is like thrice the size of the three other districts, where the concentration of informal settlers actually reside.
So they've already built some of the units here?
Yes.
The housing units there?
Yes.
Okay. And so you're looking at replicating these same housing units to other areas?
That's
Okay.
true. That's true.
Where are the other areas that are possibly identified as locations?
Um,
Kasi
it would
like
be-
Payatas, ang daming tao doon,
Yes,
diba?
that's true. That's true. So this is where actually we must be very judicious in determining the locations where we would be building socialized housing projects.
Right.
On the ground that the limited amount that we would be able to raise might not be enough really to give or provide the impact that we foresee. A lot of how they call this compromise were undertaken just to make this proposed ordinance, which would actually be confirmed next week or this coming Monday, just to pacify the middle class property owners who feel that they would be unduly burdened by the same.
That it's an unjust imposition
That
on
it's an
them.
unjust imposition on them. Well, that's a very strong word, really, when you think about the benefits that they would be getting when this ordinance would be implemented.
The benefits.
Who would not want to have a city without urban blight? Who would not want to have a lot without informal settlers adjacent to it? So the value of his land would increase. Businessmen would be more encouraged